What do squirrels, bourbon, and bonanzas have in common? We're going to find out today in the hangar. So talk about an aviation event that has exploded after the last 4 years. This is Sam Guirguis from Beech Bash in the Bluegrass. Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you started Beech Bash?
Well, the reality is the initial purpose was to get clients together that were all over the country. I'm an accountant. I'm a federally licensed accountant. I had a lot of aviation clients that were scattered throughout the country, and I hadn't met most of them. For the most part, it was all done through email and phone calls, and I thought, how cool would it – ironically, they all flew Bonanzas, by the way, Beech products. So I said, how cool would it be for us to get together in a place that's centrally located? And lo and behold, where my farm is, I'm from Fort Myers. I have a farm in western Kentucky, Madisonville. That is a very central location, right smack dab in the middle of the U.S., so it was easy for everybody and anybody to get to it. So I said, okay, well, I am going to throw this little shindig, if you will, get together for my friends and my clients, and we'll get to meet one another. But I am a very old man with a very young child, 57 with a 9-year-old, and I know the math is kind of crazy when you do it, but it's there. It works out. And I said, I don't like going places without my wife and kid. We're tight. And I've been in aviation for years, and there are aviation groups that I've been affiliated with or members of, and I have never attended any of their conventions, solely for the reason that children are kind of out of place there, and it wouldn't be appropriate.
So you kind of felt like there was something missing from these
I
events.
absolutely did feel like there was something missing. I have two loves. I have my love for my family, and I have my love for aviation. And I felt in those situations with those other aviation-related groups that I had to choose. I had to either leave my family at home and go do the aviation thing, or be with my family and not be able to do the aviation thing. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to do my own. I'm going to combine the two. And that's how the Beech Bash was created. First year we had, stuff for the kids. We had the little planes. We had a bounce house. And over the years, it's just grown. The event's grown. The attendance has grown. We've tripled, quadrupled in size. And over 1,700 members just in our Facebook group. And we've decided that, we'll add more for everybody. So we had pony rides for the kids. We had the bounce house again. We had an ice cream truck that came out. Well, some of us adults might have participated in that.
Well, and you have a ton of sponsors. Just in the last 3 or 4 years, you've added a ton of sponsors as well, right? Talk a little about that.
So initially, I was going out there and hustling, trying to get sponsors to get excited about us.
Because it's not cheap to put on an event.
No.
I mean, I've done a lot smaller scale fly-in events for antiques, and even that, it's no small task to put together, I know, and it's a huge amount of money.
And there's a lot of hidden costs that people don't realize, and I can tell you,
right,
having not done this professionally and kind of just jumped into it, there are things that you don't think about, like insurance being a one. Liability insurance is a big deal, and that's something. Rain insurance for the concerts and things of that nature. So, yes, we have, but I'll tell you, with these sponsors that we've gotten, it's getting easier. And I've actually had several at Oshkosh here reach out to me, some very large sponsors. They've come to the booth and said, hey, Sam, yes, and they're wearing their fancy. I'm going to let you be surprised with our new sponsors. They're wearing their shirts. They're like, we heard about the Beech Bash and just how wonderful it is. We'd like to know if we can sponsor.
That's
and
great.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, is Beech one of the sponsors?
Beech is not one of the sponsors. I think our biggest sponsor at this point is probably Garmin.
Ah, okay.
So they're one of the larger companies.
I've heard of them.
Maybe once.
Me too. And speaking of sponsors, I think we have one in common.
Yes. So Flying Eyes, we're at the Flying Eyes booth here at EAA Airventure. And if you go to flyingeyesoptics.com, you can order and use either our code. Sam, do you have a No, you probably. Do you have a code?
Dean had given us a code, and you
don't
know,
remember?
you're asking an old man to remember
All right,
something.
good. So use our code, taking off
theirs.
all caps, one word for 10% off. Also, Clemens Insurance. When I switched over to them for my plane, which is not a Beech, it's a Cessna 210.
A what?
Yeah. Jerry saved me over $1,000 on my airplane insurance. So check out clemensinsurance.net. All right.
All right, and back to you. And I'm sure Sam loves his flying eyes as well.
Well,
Absolutely.
and on that, so can somebody like me with a Cessna 210 fly into a Beech Bash, or will we get like
Ostracized.
or rock stone at you? You know.
Absolutely. I'll tell you right now, one of the things that I take pride in is the fact that there is no, for lack of a better term, segregation. There's no product praise over the next. Yeah, we do.
Beach snobs versus
Thank
Piper
you.
snobs versus
Listen,
Cessna.
Hey, I've flown every alphabet airplane that's
Yeah,
been
how
made.
in the world do you camp under a Bonanza wing? That's really,
Flat.
really
It's a
hard.
little
You gotta
tricky,
lay
I gotta
flat.
Whereas you
say.
can on the 210.
You're not wrong, but you know, when you're flying a Bonanza, you don't have to camp. You're there so fast. You literally doesn't matter.
Oh, shots fired.
Oh. Well, and you had I think a Mooney masquerading as Bonanza.
We
this
had
year at
a,
Beech Bash.
you saw that on.
I did.
And so the guy shows up, and Tom Duncan is one of our avid beach bashers. He's a CFII, MEI. He's got his little Mooney, and I said, man, he goes, can you park me up front with the rest of the Beechcrafts? I said, you better do something about that. So he put a B over the M on his Mooney. He called
That's
himself
funny.
a Boonie. And then we had a Luscombe that parked a few planes down, and I went outside the next day, and he had a B in front of the Luscombe, so he had a Bluscombe. So we had a Boonie and a Bluscombe at the last event.
So
A
everybody's
Besna?
welcome.
Everybody is
Yeah,
welcome.
Besna.
Bluscombe.
A Benturian.
There we go.
Yeah,
That might work.
I
Nice.
fly a Benturian.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So even he can show up at Beech Bash.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we might get segregated to the corner, but that's
You
okay.
could still go
We'll
and
just
enjoy
tease
it.
you a little bit, but it's part of it.
So Beech Bash has really grown, I mean, even beyond the event, you know, the one event a year that it's really best known for. It's kind of almost just become a group of owners that have become friends and do things together, right?
It is. It seemed to be a natural progression. We had such a good time, and you guys will hear me say this, we're more of a family than a fly-in. We had such a good time hanging out with one another that one time a year was not enough. So that it developed into the Baby Bash, which we have in the fall. This year we're going to Red River Gorge. There's two mega cabins, total of 28 cabins. We have them both booked, fully booked with beach bashers. We've got zip lining going on, underground kayaking, ATV rentals, Jeep rentals. So we're going to do that together. But then even in between those two, the fall and the spring event, we have all been just literally, I think I had this conversation. We just got back from Yellowstone. A bunch of us beach bashers from South Florida got in our little bananas, and we headed northwest, and 28 hours of flying later, round trip, we're back home from Yellowstone, and it was a phenomenal trip, and we made lifelong memories.
So I mean, it's a totally new concept on an aviation event. I mean, most of us think of an aviation event like here at Oshkosh, you know, it's all about the airplanes and the airplane people. But really, I mean, this is a different way to enjoy the aviation experience together with fellow pilots, but actually do something outside of just airplanes.
And that's a very fair assessment. I would say we're more about the adventure and the memories, and the planes are how we do it. So in our situation, the planes are a tool. Now, granted, we're very fond of our tool.
Oh, absolutely.
But the planes are a tool to help us create these lifelong memories and these adventures. And our group does not sit home. We're out flying.
You're constantly on the move. I know you personally are. I see a lot of the other bashers are, you know,
it's
doing your
nothing
events.
for me to do 40 hours a month. So it's...
How many beach bashes have you done so far annually? I mean, when did you start this?
The 2025 was the fourth one, so 2021.
Okay,
Of the
so
main
so
event.
coming out of COVID, that's interesting. And then you're adding other things like the Yellowstone. Going forward, is Beech Bash always going to be at the same time every year, kind of thing?
Yeah, so sometimes the weather appears to be dubious, but 99 out of 100 times the weather is sufficient. I've yet to had to shoot an approach into a beach bash, so it's been VFR essentially every single beach bash, bar none. With that being said, you can get sketchy weather in April, but the deal with us is we kind of meet a time, like an empty slot between Sun and Fun, the people that come from up north that don't want to travel that far south, and it's after tax season for me, thank God. And I decided we're going to do the last weekend in April so that no one needs to be concerned. You can plan for the next 10 years where you're going to be the last weekend in April. Put it on your calendar. I would be at the Beach Bash, and it makes it easy. And then there's no, concern with something else conflicting because you've known.
Right. It's not going to overlap another major aviation event so far.
Is it always going to be Kentucky?
Well, it kind of has to be because it's Beech Bash of the Bluegrass. So I'll tell you. Yeah. Something that makes the event special, in addition to all the things that we discussed earlier, was the fact that the entire town comes out and supports this event.
It really does.
The Mayor Kevin Cotton, is just off the charts in love with this. He drives people around. We call him the driver. He drives shuttle buses. It's pretty cool when the mayor is driving you to your hotel or the restaurant or wherever you want to go and telling you about the town. So with that being said, to find a town that is that warm and welcoming, I don't know that that'd be an easy feat.
Yeah, that's really valuable to have.
Absolutely.
And so, of course, because I'm a beach person, I have to slip this in. What made you love the Bonanza so much? I mean, it's kind of the basis of all of this.
Like I said, I've had all the alphabet planes, and the Beechcraft checks all the boxes. Flying up here, we had our shrimp broil on Monday. I had 40 pounds of Gulf shrimp in a Yeti cooler with 20 pounds of ice in the back of my A36 with 2 generators, a flat screen TV, a tent, sleeping bags, 6 cases of bourbon, and
don't forget that.
And I'm still at 197 true at altitude.
That's impressive.
You cannot beat. It checks the boxes. It hauls the weight. It has the room, and it's fast. No offense to the Cessna. You just have to leave a day ahead of me.
Well, but you can only care about half of what we do.
Ooh, more shots fired.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're as fast as we can make multiple trips while you're still just easing along there at the speed of smell.
In the time that...
Right.
Now, I'm not a 172.
That's true. He does go pretty fast.
I go like 170, but not your 198.
Well,
but also, I call it the pickup truck of the skies because if it fits, it ships.
Yeah.
I never have to worry about, should I fill the tanks halfway or to the tabs, whatever that is. No, we just go full. We know we got it.
No, I'm very much aware there's other good planes. Yeah. For me, and I've had...
I wish I had speed, though, I'll tell you that.
Well, and with us doing this South Florida trip to Western Kentucky once a month, 705 nautical miles, that speed makes a difference. When I can do it in less than 4 hours, you've probably seen it on Facebook. I got a wife, I've got a dog, I got a handicapped dog, and I have a handicapped squirrel. I got a one-eyed squirrel, and I have a son, and I have a grandpa, and they all want to be there now. So
especially a squirrel.
Ah.
Well,
that's
you've heard of a flying squirrel, right? Did you say that's nuts? How chow.
Drop the mic.
That was funny. Okay, we'll give them that one. But when you make that trip as frequently as we do, that speed is a blessing. It makes stuff happen.
Well, you have to have something up front turning the wheel. That's what the squirrel's for.
True, exactly.
He gives new meaning to a flying squirrel. Not too many squirrels have been to 18,000, I'll tell you that.
And there you have it.
Well, cool. All right, so it's good to know that even in my Cessna 210 Lola that we would be welcomed at the Beech Bash.
You would be welcomed. You would be well received. And we would encourage you to bring your family. I don't care who they are. If they're interested in coming and hanging out and having fun and enjoying one another, we do have our series time from about 8 to 1 we'll do the wings credits and have the seminars.
Right.
But then after the one, that's when the silliness starts. That's when the magician comes out. We watched, you saw that, we watched Top Gun on a 47-foot
Wow.
outdoor movie screen,
Yep.
drinking beer, eating popcorn on the runway, sitting between two Beech 18s. I looked at
Nice.
the sunset. We got the blue lights of the runway in the background. I looked over at my wife. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because, you know, I put the thing on and I impressed myself, which that doesn't happen very often.
And on a
Nice.
personal note, I have been to Sam's event a couple times now. It is excellent. Absolutely a not miss event.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, well, Sam, thank you so much for coming on,
Absolutely.
sharing about your event, and maybe one day I'll be able to make it out there.
I would say make it a priority and you will have no regrets.
All right.
Absolutely.
And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget our sponsors like Z-Vision, xcvision.com, the brightest landing and taxi lights out there. I've got them on my 210 Lola, and I'm sure that would light up the Beech Bash Bluegrass. So you'd actually be able to see it's blue. So, and then 67 Design, 67D.com, the best camera, cell phone camera mounts for your boat, plane, or car. I said camera twice there, didn't I? And also,
Don't forget.
Colton Mortgage. If you've got a residential mortgage need or a refi, the market's starting to settle out a little bit more, call Colton Taking Off or look them up, coltontakingoff.com. It's all run by airplane owners like MPS, Marshall Protective Services. They're all plane owners. You can support our aviation industry by supporting them, and it helps us. So we really appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.
In the hangar.